Hi everybody, and thanks for joining Stamp with Tracy for today's Well Wednesday. Today we're going to make a stand-up easel card I saw from a fellow demonstrator named Jan Brown. I seem to be following quite a bit of her stuff lately. So I got the measurements and everything from Jan Brown, and she said she got it off of Split Coast, but she didn't mention the demonstrator's name or the person that it was. And I went on Split Coast for a quick check, and I couldn't find it while I was looking before I did this video. So I'm just going to basically say that thank you, Jan Brown, and she had gotten it off of Split Coast. So we're going to use the Artistically inked stamp set that was carried over to the new annual catalog. You can find it on page 105. Now it's no longer available as a bundle, but I did use the stamps and the dies, and we can find the dies on page 169. So you need to purchase them separately now, because once it's carried over to another catalog, you lose that opportunity for that 10% off. That's why I always like to tell people, if you see something you like and it's bundled, make sure you order it before that catalog expires so you can get that bundled price. So that again is page 105 from the new 22-23 annual catalog. And then we're going to be using the designer series paper from the Blessings of Home suite, and the designer series paper is called Heart and Home. So they're the items that we're going to be using, and we're also using our stitched rectangle dies. Now the Heart and Home designer series paper was from the mini catalog of that runs out the end of June. So that's where that designer series paper came from. It's not carried over, I don't believe, to the new annual catalog. So you've got to make sure you get that before, if you want to use that paper, before this catalog, the mini catalog that goes to the end of June, runs out, retires. And I used the stitched rectangle dies. And they fortunately were carried over again, so they're still available. I hope they never retire. So we have the stitched rectangle dies, and there's 8 pieces to that. And when I say the size number of the die I'm referring to, I'm counting from the smallest to the largest. So this would be, I call number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8. Okay, so when I refer to the numbers, remember I'm saying from the smallest to the largest. Okay, so let's get started in showing you. Now, I did a lot of my stamping and cutting ahead of time because you know I'd like to keep my videos under 15 minutes, and I didn't want to take up all the time, but I will explain to you step by step and give you measurements of what I did. So I used the stitched rectangle dies. This is going to be the front cutout design on our card, and this one is number 5 on the stitched rectangles dies, and then the Fresh Freesia cardstock, which is the 21-23 in color cardstock. Absolutely love this. That is number 6 on the stitch dies. So you just sort of need to make that, and if you don't have the stitch dies and you just do the panels, that's fine too. But you need to just make that, you know, like one size smaller if you're doing your measurements that way. Then we need 2 panels cut out, and I need my directions so I can tell you all the, where's my directions? All the sizes. Where's my directions? Sorry. I have these panels that are cut out that are number 4 on the stitched rectangles, and my cutter app, my small paper cutter. And we need to center this and score it so that we can fold it in half. So basically, if you want to do it with a scoring tool, it's just put it on. Let me make sure I have this, stand up and look overhead and make sure I have it in the video. Okay, so this is cut out from, again, the number 4 stitch rectangle dies. So I just put it on here and tried to make sure that I had it centered. If it's not exactly centered, it's fine, but it's like, it measures like 5/16 or something. So when I laid it down here, if you can see, I'm just a hair between the 16th measurement and the 8th measurement on both sides, and I just slide it up, and then I used my scoring tool and I scored it, And like I said, if you fold it and it's not exactly right, that's not that big of a deal. So I did that with both pieces. I had 2 of these, again, number 4 from the stitched rectangle dies. And they need to be folded in half. If it's not totally exact, it's fine, but as close as you can get it is great. Okay, and then we have our front panels of our card. So the easel card is going to stand up like this. So the front panels, we have solid fresh freesia, 2 1/4 by 6 3/4. Now this is a bigger card. I think it would be great special for a wedding or something like that, or a special birthday. It's not our standard A2 card. So basically it would be like a 5 by 7 card. So you would need a larger envelope or make your own envelope. So we have the fresh freesia cardstock cut at 2 1/4 by 6 3/4, and then the designer series paper 2 1/8 by 6 5/8, and we have 2 sets of those. Okay, that would be on the front of our card. Then on the inside of the card, we have a thicker panel on the left and a smaller panel on the right. So the bigger one is 2 3/4 by 6 3/4, and then this is 1/8 of an inch smaller, so it's 2 5/8 by 6 5/8, and that's going to sit on the inside, and then this is on the side here, and this we're going to pop up with our adhesive foam strips. And the measurements for this is 1 5/8 by 6 5/8 for the designer series paper, 1 3/4 by 6 3/4. There it is. All my adhesives in a plastic container. There's like blue dots and dimensionals. Okay, so now let's get started doing the assembling. We'll just go ahead and get our panels put together. Oh, I don't want that seal. I want my regular seal. I don't need the super seal. So I hope that you've had an opportunity to look through the new catalog and you have a nice wish list going. And if you do, I'd greatly appreciate if your order's under $150, you use my May host code. I don't have my May host code out here yet. Now, this didn't go on too good. There's a secret if you like huff on it. You can, excuse me for breathing heavy. Get it back off and start again. So I just want to be 1/8 of an inch. I'm trying not to get my head in the camera. There we go. And then the same thing for the other panel. And we'll put that one down on there. And this Artistically ink used to have its own designer series paper, but that did retire. But if you have that, it's got like the gold foil in it. If you use some retired paper, that's absolutely gorgeous as well. So this is our larger inside panel. Oh, and I did a mistake. I was supposed to glue something onto here first, and I'll show you how we'll fix that. It's the same mistake Jan made on her video. So I'm trying to go by my notes for the... So I did my measurements on the wrong side there. But I wrote them in pencil, so it's no big deal. Okay, so on here, what I needed to do, again, I'm going to do a little huffing. needed to put my panels on there first. There's that little secret to get that adhesive loosened. So what I want to do is I want to use my liquid glue and because it's nice and strong and I don't want it to move. And I want to be just about halfway distance-wise of this 6 3/4 and have that exactly over to the edge. And I look pretty good there. And if I'm not exactly, it's okay. So then that's glued down there. And then this is open. And this panel goes on top now. So you see, that's what I needed to have. So I'm going to go ahead and fix that now on the other one. Sorry about my breathing. There we go. Now on this one, I want the glue on the right side. Not quite right there though. And then try to get it as even as I can right here. And glue that down. And with the liquid glue, if I need to move it a little bit, I can. To see, I want to come right over to the edge of that panel. And then make sure I'm even there. So I need to come up just a little bit, and the liquid glue will allow me to do that. Okay, then press that down nice and firm so it's glued down there. And then come back down with my piece of Designer Series paper. And I'll just give it a little bit of help with this liquid glue since I had to pull it back up there. Just a little squeeze under there, and that'll help keep that down. Okay, so then these are our two front panels. Sorry about that mistake, but you know, it always happens when you go live, right? But we don't worry about it. We're all human. It happens to the best of us. So that'll be our front. So now we're working on the inside here. So I'm going to glue down my panel on the left. Again, this is on the inside flap of the card. And just 1/8 inch off the sides there. And then on this one here. It's going to be like that, but we want to build this up so that it sits up nice and high so it holds that easel. So I am going to use my strips. And I'm going to see if my paper cutter will cut them. I've never tried that on here before, so let's give it a whirl and see what happens. Didn't quite go all the way through, but I think it'll still work. Maybe not. So let's just go ahead and use our scissors to be safe. So I want the length of this panel, and I'm going to cut 3 strips. And again, I'm doing these strips, and I'm not sure if we actually might sell them in strips now. I can't remember if this is the way it comes or if you can actually buy strips for it. But I'm going to have those on here. Oh gosh, I'm sorry, I'm not in the camera again. I apologize. Just adhering my strips to the back of this panel. And then the other one I'm going to cut in half, or even less than half. And come all the way down to the bottom. Okay, so we have our panel glued on there. Then we'll remove our adhesive backing. And if you didn't have the adhesive strips and you wanted to just like double layer your dimensionals, but you would need a lot of dimensionals. You couldn't just do the normal few on there. And we'll put that down like that. And then our card will stand up like that. So let's go ahead and glue our front ones down now. Again, I knew this was going to take a little while, so I went ahead and did all my stamping ahead of time. I guess I could have assembled for you too, but I wanted you to actually see what I was doing. Okay, now I am going to take my bone folder and really crease these. Well, same thing with this one over here. Give it that extra with it. Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit of decorating. Excuse me. So I've already stamped my flowers, and I just need to add those and the leaves with some dimensionals. I'm just putting one in the center, and that gives me room to position where I might want my leaves. And I'm just randomly positioning them. Okay. And then I stamped the leaves in soft succulent. And when this was stamped in the fresh freesia. So I have 3 sets of leaves. And I'm just going to use a little bit of my adhesive right on the tip of those. And add those to the card behind there. And that'll be okay because I can slide that under, and that'll actually also help hold it up. So it's no problem that I'm sticking over a little bit. And then, yep, wrong side. Put a little bit of adhesive on that one, and we'll have this one coming off down the bottom. Okay, so that's what the side's going to look like. Now we need to finish off the front. So this one here is the front panel. Again, I did it with the stitched rectangles. I've got it. I didn't really lay this out prior to, so we're just going to wing it here. Again, now this time I stamped the flowers with Gorgeous Grape because I wanted them to be different from the flowers that were on the side panel. So I'm going to have my leaves coming off the side there. And these were stamped in the Evening Evergreen to make them a little bit more vibrant than the flowers on the side there. Okay, then that is going to layer again on our fresh freesia. and I decided to make it a birthday card. And then when I glue this down, I'm trying to remember, I can only glue it on one side. So we probably, see, I'm trying to remember what I need to do here. This comes popping up. Yeah, so I can do it on both of them. Sorry about that. I wanted to make sure I wasn't making a mistake here. So I'm going to go down the strips here, center that, and then when you bring it up, that was the purpose of having these folded in half, those rectangles. So there you have what it looks like from that way, and there you have what it looks like from that way. Now, of course, on this piece here, I would put another white panel with probably a saying for your birthday. So I will add that piece to send with the card, but I'm not going to adhere it, and I'll let the person decide that wins it. Did I say win it? What do you have to do to win my Well Wednesday card? Make sure you like and comment on my video. Don't forget that. Every time you watch a Well Wednesday, make sure you like and comment on the video, and then you have a chance to win the card I made. So again, thanks to Jan Brown, who I did follow this video and got her measurements and everything to make this fantastic card. And I believe that they called this, now she's from the UK, but I'm pretty sure in America this is an A4 size card, but I'm not 100%. But again, it will fit in a nice big 5x7 envelope, which a lot of envelopes are that size for your big, larger cards that you buy at the big box stores or at your special card store. But we don't have those kind of stores because we make all of our cards. So I hope you liked today's Well Wednesday of the stand-up easel card. Don't forget to like and comment so you have a chance to win this beautiful card. I will send that out to the winner. I draw the winner usually on Monday evenings. And don't forget, if you do place an order, please go to my store. And if your order's under $150, make sure that you add the May host code, which again will be in the description title of my Well Wednesday. Thanks again for joining me, everyone. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Happy stamping. Bye-bye.